Hello and welcome back to another video here with Walters FC, episode number 9 of Park 2 Glory here with Main Road. And here we are, guys. We are here for the cup final against Abbey Hay. Just before we get into that, I'm not going to spend too much time faffing around, so I'm just going to get straight into today's episode. Just a couple of quick transfer dealings. Unfortunately, no incomings, just two outgoings. So we've lost Bradley Lawley to Nelson. I completely missed that. Didn't even realise it had happened. Not going to be too big of a loss. Unfortunately, he has moved on. And another player we've lost is our actually only original player that we had in the team when we first joined, and that was Reece Welsh. He has decided to go to backup. So hopefully he won't be a backup for us anymore. That is a terrible pun. I do apologise. But yeah, he only made 13 appearances, mainly towards the beginning of the season when we didn't really have another right back. So he wanted to move on, so we let him do so. Just one more very quick point before we get into today's game. We managed to finish fourth in the league, which I'm very, very happy with. We had a really, really strong end to the season. I couldn't have really asked for much more from the team. We did win our final 3 games after our semi-final against Lovat Breck. A 2-0 win, a 3-0 win, and a 2-1 win. So very, very strong way to end the season. It does set us well for next season. We may actually get offered another job. Who knows? We will have to wait and find out. But the plan is to stay here at Main Road to try and push on for a title challenge. And I can confirm we will hopefully be staying here for another season because Main Road offered me a new contract, everybody. So I did say last time out that, if I was to get a new contract, I would go as low as I could. Obviously, because I was getting paid £325 a week, which is a hell of a lot for a team like this, with the very much low finances that they do possess. So I did go for the lowest possible wage that they could offer me, which was £85. He wouldn't let me go any lower than £85. So I negotiated that with the board. They were obviously very, very happy for me to accept. So yeah, I'm here until 2023. So I've got at least 2 more seasons here. So hopefully by that point we would have got promoted, and we will be pushing for, yeah, not really pushing, but hopefully promoted from level 10. Hopefully fighting it out in level 9, but we shall see. But anyway, enough talk about the future and what could happen then. Let's talk about what could happen today. So we are in our game against Abbey Hay, the cup final, the one we've all been waiting for. It's been a pretty good run throughout. Let's see if we can actually have a look. Were we in the first round of this competition? I don't think we were. No, we entered in the second round. So we had a 2-1 away win at Eccleshall, which puts us through into the third round where we did beat AFC Blackpool 1-0 away. Heading on into the quarter-final where I did beat Holker Old Boys 2-0. Have I had away games in every single round? Let's have a check. I was away in the second round, away in the third round, away in the quarter-final, and I was away in the semi-final. And I'm not sure if the final is being held at Abbey Hay Stadium. So they do play at Abbey Stadium, very original stadium naming. But yeah, that's going to be a weird one if I am playing away at their stadium. We will find out shortly. But getting on to today's team, it's a very, very familiar team by now. Not really too many changes coming in. The boys are all rested up as the last game of the league season was a week before this. So I've got no injury concerns except for Brett Lloyd. He's going to be out between 11 days and 3 weeks. He did get injured in the 3-0 win over Cheadle Heath, which is a little bit frustrating, but we do have Steve Allen that can play at right back as well. So although we have lost Reece Walsh, we've still got Steve Allen. We also do have Joe Bryce on the bench as well. So we are pretty much covered it in there. But yeah, we've got Mullet in goal, Allen at right back, Furtado at left back, still got Meadowcroft and Gay in at centre back, still got the midfield duo of Fawcett and Russell, got ASN out on the right, Briggs out on the left, Birchall in the middle. Thankfully, he's recovered from his injury now, so he's got no injury problems. You will notice that he has got a bid on from Wisbech, if that's how you pronounce that team name. Lots of people are offering for my players at this stage, which is really frustrating, and one of them, as you can see, is Kayari Ventura. A lot of teams want him, which is a bit worrying, and unfortunately, he wants too much of an appearance fee, and I can't offer that. I can only offer, I think, up to £25 a week. He wants £40 a week, and he's not willing to budge at the moment. So hopefully we will see what will happen in the summer, but we won't worry about that for now. We'll worry about that later on. So, yeah, let's head into today's game. Steve Allen is lacking a bit of match sharpness. I'm not too fussed about that. I'm sure he will do a good job. And if he is struggling, as I said before, we do have options on the bench. But with Abbey Hay as well, you may have seen it on the league screen before. They did go up as champions, everyone. So we know how much of a tough game this is going to be. It's not the first time we played Abbey Hay this season, or even in a video. Actually, this will be the second time that we've played them. So we've played Abbey Hay enough times this season. So hopefully, as we did in the earlier episode and earlier on throughout the season, we are able to get the victory over them today. As we see the teams walk out, you can see me just on the right-hand side, just there. I haven't really got any sort of custom suits on at the moment. It's gone for a very, I don't want to say plain, but a very sharp looking suit, looking all lovely and smart. Maybe I will have a look and get some more colourful blazers or shirts on in the future. But anyway, enough about what I look like as a manager, because that doesn't really matter. Let's get into today's game. And there is an early highlight here, and it looks like it's going to be for us. Are we able to get an early goal? Really pile on the pressure on Abbey Hay and force them to having to come out. And Ventura's in. He's put it just wide. For a guy that scored 49 goals in 50 appearances this year, when chances like that fall to him, you almost expect him to put them in. But it wasn't to be on that occasion. So hopefully he will get a few more chances as the game rolls on. But, they're in. Pickering's in. He's going to score. Mullet just... Oh, Mullet, what are you doing, man? You just stepped to... He does a roly-poly that I don't think he actually rolled. He just stayed still. But the defending there by us, West did really, really well. Managed to get his way out of trouble. And Mullet, he stepped to the left. He just opened the goal for Pickering, and all he had to do was just toe poke it in. That's a very disappointing start. To allow him that much room to just run in behind, get through one-on-one. And I don't know where I don't know where Allen was. I don't know where Meadowcroft was. They were all over the shop. So that is a little bit concerning that we are losing in that manner. But can we get ourselves back into the game here with Briggs running down the opposite side? He's not used to playing on that right-hand side, so he got all confused. But here he is, Ventura, and Ventura's in. He scored his 50th goal of the season. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a player that scored 50 goals in a season before on Football Manager. If I have, I honestly don't remember it. Definitely not in a recent Football Manager. But yeah, very happy to get back in the game. He took it really, really well. Good crossing from ASN. Good touchdown by Ventura, and he just slots it in the bottom corner. Goalkeeper didn't really have much of a chance. He just fell to his knees. But yeah, really happy to be back in the game. I've just realised I'm on a very attacking mentality as well. Let's get off very attacking mentality, because that's probably why I went 1-0 down in the first place. It's such a poor goal, in my opinion. So hopefully now with the balanced mentality. Is that a penalty? That is a penalty. I can't have any complaints about that. It did look like he got the man, and West converts, and it's 2-1 to Abbey Hay. Wow. George West with his 67th goal of the season. I thought Ventura was having a mad one, but West is on another level. I think I have tried to sign him before just to try and upset Abbey Hay. But he wanted to improve the midfield. At the time, this was before I signed Fawcett and Russell. So he wasn't willing to join because I wasn't willing to improve the midfielders at that time. So I did pull out of that transfer. But now that we've got Fawcett and Russell in, he may be a bit more tempted to join us. But we're at half time in this game, and it's 2-1 to Abbey Hay. It's been a very, very even game, everybody. There's not really been too much in between it. What can we do here? Do we go hands in pocket? No, hands in pockets. I'm not really a fan of that motion, but hands together. I think we have been unlucky so far, and the boys do seem to agree. They do seem to be a little bit motivated, so hopefully that's good. And we'll give a shout of encouragement to them as well. So I do think it's a little bit harsh that we are 2-1 behind. A very poor defending for the first goal and a penalty. But are we able to get back in here? Briggs, yes, it's in. It's 2-2. Again, that was not a straightforward goal, and I'm not really sure what happened there. The ball came in. Oh, did their defender get ahead on it? It's a good cross in. It may have been us that got the first header, but Briggs just goes in for the slide tackle by the looks of it, and it's 2-2. Yeah, very, very good. Very, very good. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. Obviously, a big cup final here, it is 2-2. We do want to finish the season with a bang, really put our foothold down for next season, that, we are ready to be promoted. I feel like if we had this team throughout the whole season, I reckon we would be up there with the Abbey Hay and the New Mills of this world, really pushing for that top two. It's also a shame there's not really any playoffs, because I do feel like we would be the favourites going into that, considering our strong finish to the season. But wasn't meant to be this time. And what happened there? That was pink. That was like table football. That was like everyone just spinning their table football players as fast as they could, and the ball was just not going anywhere. About 3 or 4 rebounds there. It just didn't end up in anything. But heading into the 70th minute, it is still 2-2. Pretty good game, actually. We're just having that bit more of the ball. I think we are going to have a look at making some changes. ASN is showing a bit of a orange injury, a potential knee injury as well. So not what you want to see, but this is a cup final and it's our last game of the season. The boys are going to have the best part of 4 months off after this. So, if he is going to get injured, even if it's for a month or so, I don't mind it being today. What changes can we make? Not been overly impressed with Callum Fawcett, so I'm actually going to take him off, put Adam Cox on. Do I want Cox playing at deep line playmaker? Not with... I don't know who to play here. I'm actually going to play Russell. He does have 8 passing, although his technique is poor. No, we'll leave it as it is. We'll keep Jamie Russell in at the deep line playmaker. We'll play Cox as more of a box-to-box, or is that... No, I've changed my mind. I'm going to play Russell at box-to-box, Adam Cox at deep line playmaker. Something just to try and make a change. Fortunately, with our outgoings of losing people like Ollie Hay recently, I don't feel like I have much options when it comes to the bench for attacking players, and we've still got Sherlock as a striker, and we've still got Echo Elliott on the bench as well. So, but if we look at the ratings down here, that's not really what we need right now. Although Alan is on a 6.2, so I may look at bringing him off in a minute. But seem to have a highlight here, so I may wait to see what happens here. Although Alan, speaking of Alan, he plays it through to Ventura. He slots it in the back of the net. Oh, that is brilliant timing. I was just talking about Alan having a 6.2 match rating, and he goes and pulls a pass off like that, everyone. He wins it from the goal kick. He sees Ventura making a run, slots a Tony Cruz style ball right through to Ventura, who one-on-one I do back more often than not. I know he missed the chance earlier in the game, but really, really good finish there. And with 7 minutes to go, we're 3-2 up. This has been a very good cup final. Very, very, a lot of tensions flaring here. I'm not sure if you're able to tell, but I am getting a little bit excited by this, considering my celebration for Ventura. Because although Abbey Hay are champions, considering we beat them earlier on in the season, I was a little bit quietly confident we can finish it here. We can finish it here. Let's go. Ventura with his 52nd. Is that a hat trick for him? He has got a hat trick, isn't he? Is that his hat trick goal? I really hope it is. We'll find out in just a moment. But Alan again with the ball opens it up for ASN. I'm glad I kept him on as well, because he's got the assist for Ventura, and it's 4-2. It is a hat trick for the main man, Chiari Ventura. I almost said Kai then, but no. Right, right. We've got injury time. I know we're winning by 2 goals, but I do not want to risk us throwing this away. I've seen weirder things happen in Football Manager. We'll take off ASN. We'll put on Echo Elliott, and we will take... I don't know how Steve Allen's only on a 6.5, but we'll take him off anyway. We'll go defensive. Let's bring the lower lines of engagement. We don't want to be pushing up on the field now. In possession, we will not work ball. Won't play out. Much more direct. Much lower tempo. And we'll attacking width, and we'll keep that the same as well. I don't really think there's too much point in changing this, because we have only got 2 minutes left, but hopefully we are able to see this out. Oh, don't let them in. What? Who missed that header? I was just expecting him to clear that away. He missed it, but it doesn't matter anyway. And in our first season as a Football Manager on this save, with Main Road, not knowing who we would be. We've gone on to lift a trophy, everyone. And for a Tottenham fan, this is incredible. I'm not used to seeing things like this. I still cling on to the Audi Cup in 2019 for crying out loud. But anyway, we do win the Northwest Counties League First Division Cup. And the boys do celebrate with the confetti going everywhere. And it's a historic day for Main Road. I will have to have a look on their history to see what competitions they have won before. You may have seen that they did actually get relegated from level 9 last season, so they were hoping to bounce back, and unfortunately I haven't been able to do that at the first attempt in the league, although we did put on a very strong performance. But something I have brought to the table, and that is silverware, and that's going to go really, really good on my CV. So if a bigger club does come in for me in the future, I'm not saying that is going to happen, but you never know with these sort of things. Obviously, that does look really, really good for me. So, outstretched arms, congratulations, lads. Yep, they love it. They absolutely love it. Motivated and inspired, although some people were nervous. Andy McManus, why are you nervous? Joe Bryce, why are you complacent? We've just won a trophy. Everyone should be happy. I don't get sometimes that with Football Manager, but anyway, moving on from that, a 4-2 win in our cup final. I am extremely happy with that. You can see we get £500 here as well. So that really does help towards the club finances, which the less said about that, the better. I've been praised by the Main Road supporters. So that's things you love to see, isn't it? I don't know how many people were in attendance there. Oh, 233 people. So there may have actually been a fair amount of Main Road's supporters there. I never did see if that game was actually held at the. It was held at the Abbey Stadium. So all away games I played in that competition, 5 games, 5 away games, and we've come out with the trophy. So what more can you ask for from that? Absolutely incredible. Ventura on form. Not entirely surprised. Hat-trick hero, 9.2 match rating, and Callum Fawcett has praised my team talk as well. So I like Callum Fawcett. He can stay around for as long as possible. So that is really, really amazing, guys. I don't really know what more I can say, really. Really, really fantastic. Very, very happy with the team, with the boys, and the position we're at in the moment. Very happy with the squad, although I do want to make some additions. Obviously, it's not ideal that we have lost a couple of players recently. But with the right signings, and hopefully I am back a little bit more, whether we get some investment or even a takeover, who knows? I am able to make the right additions for the squad going into next season. Right, guys, that's going to be it for me for this section here. I will be back when we get to the end of season review. I'll see you in a moment. Hello, and we are back with the end of season review. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. I think I only continued maybe twice more once I'd gone through all the messages. And in a real time, I genuinely think that took me about a minute and a half to go from where I just left you guys to where we are now. So, not really much point in doing that. But oh well, we are here with the end of season review. So, we're not going to go through every single new arrival because every single player we've had, with the exception of obviously Reece Welsh, who obviously left us recently, is a new arrival. But I would like to think that. So apparently, Chiari Ventura, the board are only content with the deal to sign him. This is a man that scored 52 goals with 10 assists and an average rating of 7.47. Board, I would take a good hard look at yourself if I was you. But we'll just flick through some of the others. We won't go through each individual player unless it's like a really bad C- for Tyrone Gay, bit harsh. Let's see, C- for Danny Meadowcroft, player that was ever present for us this season, scored our first ever goal, if I'm not mistaken, in our opening day of the season. Average rating is 7.04 with a C-. C+ for Ross Mullet, surprising. Anyone that's going to break the B mark, or are they all going to be C- C's or C+? Jack Wakefield C+? Really? Okay, so everyone was a C for some reason, so I'm not sure if that's just a glitch or something up with the database, but we all know Chiari Ventura was an A star signing. Here we go. This is a bit more like it. So the board expects me to reach the quarter final. This was in the cup that we won. So that's always good. Obviously, we ended up winning. Our average home attendance was 66 people, so only 3%. That's something I would like to try and work on moving forward. But just in the Northwest Counties League Challenge Cup in total, we did get to the quarterfinals of that. So again, pretty good performance there. Again, only 66 people showing up, but it is what it is. FA Vars, we did get to the second qualifying round, which was the board expectation, so we done pretty well in that. We did lose to 9th Division Sheffield United. FA Cup, they just wanted us to be competitive. Obviously, we won our extra preliminary round game here against Barnoldswick Town. So I feel like we were pretty competitive in that. Do notice all of our average home attendances are 66. I'm not sure if that's just each cup competition or just as an overall. I think it is just as an overall, to be fair. Otherwise, that would be a little bit different. But in terms of the league, they wanted mid-table, so they expected us to finish sort of where the Alcegas and the West Idbury and Chawton, that team, around the 10th and 11th place. But we did end up finishing fourth, so a very, very strong season. I know we were 18 points off the top two, but those two teams did run away with the league fairly early on in the year, and there wasn't really going to be anyone there that stops them. We'll head on to our moments to remember. So our biggest one was 6-1 against that team. I'm not going to try and botch that team name again. Although I do a lot of botches, I don't want to do the same one twice in 10 seconds. But moving on, our match to remember, it was a 5-0 win against FC Isle of Man. So that was our second game of the season. I do remember that game quite well. After our opening league game, which was obviously up on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it already. And as soon as I saw that win against FC Isle of Man, I thought we could be in for a good season here. I still think we were, probably just not quite as good as I expected at that point, but I certainly have no complaints. And our goal of the season came from Matthew Birchall, actually. It wasn't Chiari Ventura's screamer that I do remember from a few episodes back. But he scored a free kick from 31 yards out. So that was in our cup. That was in our cup quarter final against Holker Old Boys. So I don't really remember that goal too well, but oh well, it is what it is. I know what my goal of the season were, and it definitely was that Ventura volley. Finances wise, obviously we weren't at the club last year, so we've got nothing to compare it to. The club's reputation has not changed. Not really too surprising. Over the last year, obviously, I know we did win a cup, but at this sort of level, it's not like it's going to enhance our reputation too much. We've got no sponsorship deals at the moment, although we did have one there. So yeah, hopefully we are able to get a few new sponsors on board next year. So how I lined up, this was the team for the most part, although is there any changes I would really make there? Probably take out Steve Allen. Wouldn't necessarily play him at left back. I know I did for the final, but I was no, sorry, I played him at right back. So actually, yeah, maybe he would have been at left back. Obviously, Brett Lloyd was injured. Brett Lloyd, yeah, I don't know why I thought his name was something different then. So many players to remember, but yeah, that is the team that we more or less did play, with the exception of Bradley Lawley. Obviously, he's left us now anyway. You can see he only made one appearance. He made more than one appearance. I know he made more than one appearance. That's strange. Anyway, moving onwards, we've got the accolades over here. Chiari Ventura got the Fans Player of the Year, the Young Player of the Season. Chiari Ventura, he cleaned up, with the exception of Goal of the Season, which I do feel he was a little bit robbed by, and obviously most assists. He did very, very well, Chiari Ventura. Average rating, most player of the match awards with 14. I'm surprised that's not more with 52 goals. And record breakers, Ventura. Ollie Hay, 12 assists. That's not bad for someone that left us towards the end of the season. So whether he had stuck around or not, he definitely would have got some game time. So he may have been able to have broken that. But yeah, history in the making. So your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch. Sorry if I read that wrong. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch. There we go. I'm a fool. It is very late at night, so do forgive me. I'm very tired. And such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season award ceremony. So I'm sure all the boys had a good time at that. Had a few drinks. Obviously, Football Manager is no COVID related issues there, so I haven't got to worry about that. They took a while to get going, but really set themselves up with their mid-season run. I think that's fair to say. We did have some struggles at the beginning of the season, but obviously we were able to get over those fairly quickly, put on a good run of form together, and obviously finish the season really, really strongly. So board for next season, they only want us to work within a wage budget again. and work towards repairing the club's financial damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do that. Hopefully, throughout the summer, I am able to arrange some friendlies against some high reputational teams. So to get that income in, to try and repair that damage. And they also want to look on build promotion as well, which I do agree with. I think that should be the way for most teams that obviously are looking to get promoted. So that is good to see. I'll do the end of season team report off camera, not off camera, off recording. I'm not doing FaceTime at the moment. Maybe in the future, but who knows? And someone's made an offer for Birchall, so they can politely go away. Yes, guys, that is going to be it for season 1 of Park 2 Glory. A pretty successful one. If I had to give it a very, very quick summary, pretty happy with our league performance. I would have been quite happy with a 4th place if you'd offered it to me at the beginning of the season. Hopefully, maybe try and put a bit of pressure on the top 2, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. And obviously, with our cup win as well, this does make it into a very, very successful season. So, again, I don't really have many complaints. Yes, guys, that is going to be it for season 1 of Park 2 Glory. I'm going to go and play throughout the whole of the summer transfer window. I'm going to have around 3 months or so to play with to try and bring in a load of new players. And I will come back for the first game of next season. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.